Looks like we're up and running. So if I read the meeting intro here.
Yeah. Sounds good. Okay, this is the regularly scheduled November meeting of the Worcester Planning Commission. This is a volunteer commission of Worcester citizens representing all wards within the city and established to hear planning matters as specified in the City of Worcester Planning and Zoning Code. Commission members present tonight are Chuck Armbruster, Cherie Bronson, Mike Steiner, Mark Weaver, and my name is Kyle Adams, and I am the chairman of the commission. Because these hearings are a matter of legal record, this meeting is recorded. We ask that if and when you speak loudly and clearly. We also ask that prior to speaking, each speaker gives their name, address, and affirms to tell the truth. The applications to be considered tonight are applications number PC-20-22, which will include a public hearing, and PC-20-21. Following tonight's meeting, the applicant in each case will receive notification of the commission's decision regarding their application. Before we move on to the applications, could I get a motion to approve the September minutes from the board?
So move. This is Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck. And could I get a second?
This is Mike. I'll second.
Thanks, Mike. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any against, like sign? So minutes are approved. So here we'll move on to the first application of the night, which is PC-20-22. Rachel Lanzafame requesting conditional use approval for a private parking lot as a principal use of property located at the southeast corner of University Street and Spink Street with parcels number 65-00024.000 in a community facility zoning district. And again, this application will include a public hearing. But is anyone here to speak for the application?
Just want to jump in real quick. Looks like Grant has arrived right now.
Okay. And
Sorry about that.
And then, so our other commission member, Grant Mason, is also present. So anyone to speak for the application?
Yes, this is Rachel Lanzafame from Bergmeyer in 51 Sleeper Street, Boston, Massachusetts.
And then do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do. And I'm actually going to ask John Long from SJL to speak about this one.
I guess I'll take the floor. John Long, Schaefer Johnson Lichtenwalder, 3477 Commerce Parkway, Worcester, Ohio. I affirm to tell the truth. The item before you in the conditional use is a parking lot at the southeast corner of University and Spink Street. There's currently a temporary parking lot that was constructed there about 3-4 years ago as part of the construction of the Ruth Williams Hall Science Center. It's been in the temporary condition since then, and they've been utilizing it as an overflow parking. And as part of this project, the student center that is expanding, we are going to be losing a number of parking spaces as a result of that construction and improvements and so forth. As such, we will be we would like to convert this temporary parking lot on the southeast corner of University and Spink into a permanent parking lot with all of the improvements and so forth thereof. We've received the the staff's recommendations on some additional items. We need to include some additional hedgerows, a few additional trees. We do plan to improve the sidewalks that run around the border of the parking lot currently along University and Spink Street. There's existing stormwater management, water quality controls in place that will remain. As part of the conditional use, we have reviewed the criteria that is in the code for that. We feel that we meet these, especially with the spirit and the nature and the intent of the code, as well as the utilization of the area in the neighborhood. To the north of University Street is an existing parking lot that is long standing in place. The College of Worcester owns numerous properties in the area as well, to the east of this, across the alley, and all of the land north. we do intend to comply with the staff's recommendations of the obtaining a variance through the BZA. That application will be submitted next week, I believe, by the college's attorney. We will upgrade our landscaping as necessary and work with Andrew and the college to have a plan that all are happy with and is compliant with the code. And we will improve the sidewalk. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thanks, John. Commission members, do you have any questions for John or Rachel before we open the public hearing? In that case, I'll open the public hearing, and if there's anybody on here that'd like to speak, or Andrew, if you want to share any comments with us.
I haven't received any comments. We do have a few people watching on YouTube, so we'll just wait for their comments if there are any.
No comments, Andrew?
We just got one here. Give me 1 second to transfer it over there. Okay. Wrong one. So comment is from Evan Baller. It's property adjacent to the lot. He's asked, will this parking lot be monitored by campus security? We have had multiple cars parked in our yard when the lot gets full because they think our house is owned by the college.
Is there anyone for the application that can speak to that?
I can speak to that. This is Sarah Bolton, the president of the College of Worcester. May I speak to that?
Yeah, and then just address and affirm to tell the truth.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, my address is 433 East University Street in Worcester, and I will tell the truth.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the comment being shared that there are lots, that there are cars parking in this Mr. Baller's yard. Thank you for letting us know. We will definitely look into that. I appreciate that. That shouldn't be happening. I appreciate that. And yes, anything on our property should be monitored by our security and protective services. But thank you for sharing that concern. We'll certainly look at that. I appreciate you letting us know.
Thank you, President Bolton. Let's see.
He's further commented, asked are those trees on the southwest corner, our house is completely exposed to the parking lot?
John, can you answer that?
Yep, sorry, I was muted. Yes, Andrew, can you share the landscape pavilion back on the screen, please?
There you go.
Yes. So the southeast corner, there are trees there. There are there is a hedgerow along the southwest corner. I believe is one of the comments from the planning staff. And you can correct me, Andrew, if I'm wrong. You're requesting some additional evergreens along the south line to the west. Is that correct?
Yeah, it would be to extend those
Yes.
5 evergreens to the west all the way basically to the corner almost.
Yeah. So your comment was to meet requirements, the hedgerow must extend to Spring Street, and the evergreen trees will need to be extended along the south property line. So currently, the evergreens are just along the south side of the detention basin. We'll need to add a couple more going to the west, right there where Andrew's cursor is.
Very good. Thanks, John.
And then he's also commented the head of security said they were not going to do anything about it. So that's okay.
Thanks for letting me know. I'll address that. I might also say too that I would hope that having a more permanent parking lot that's a little bit more formally defined might help mitigate some of the things that the individual is commenting on in terms of leakage. But even before that, we should certainly address it. I'm sorry that happened.
I would agree with Ms. Bolton that once the parking lot is striped, that the capacity of that parking lot will actually increase from what it is right now. It's just kind of a helter-skelter of parking out there without any lines on it as it currently exists. So it should get better with time.
I mean, he's also asked if the bagpipe team will be permitted to practice in the lot. And who will be allowed to park there.
Yeah. So
I hadn't thought about whether the bagpipe team would where they would be practicing. We're obviously don't have anybody practicing anything right now for the next period of time. It sounds like the commenter is concerned that they have historically practiced there. I'm not certain if that's the question. If they've historically practiced there, and it sounds like perhaps they prefer that they practice elsewhere. We can certainly look into other possibilities. They are often down there in that corner by the by Shida Music Center, so we can certainly look at another alternative. In terms of who will be able to park in the lot, I'm imagining this is faculty staff parking, but I don't know that for sure. Someone else have that information? I think that it's intended to be employee parking.
Hey, Andrew, just for your edification, I think the gentleman's pronunciation of his last name is Baylor.
Thank you. My apologies.
Andrew, one
Yes.
of the residents of my ward just texted me saying that an email was sent to you regarding comments on the proposal, as opposed to the YouTube channel.
I did not receive any comments regarding either one of these applications.
Okay, since
Okay, 4 minutes ago I received it. Okay. And you'll see. Oh boy. Well, it's rather long. Yeah, I'll try to copy and paste it. Okay.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Bye.
Okay, I'll share this now. So Mr. Baylor has had a couple more comments. The bagpipe team practices in the lot 10 yards from our house, and if the lot is only for staff, then we'll be roped off during sporting events. Then
why don't we address the email first here, Andrew, and then we'll go back to make sure we're answering all of Mr. Baylor's questions in order to.
suppose I can read it here. As a homeowner in the 900 block of Spink Street, I am very concerned about the College of Worcester's application to the Planning and Zoning Commission to turn the lot on the southeast corner of University and Spink into a permanent parking lot. This parking lot will add to blight in our residential neighborhood. At one point in time, we were assured that the college wanted to use that lot as a green space that would have been a nice addition to the neighborhood, but now it'll be an unsightly parking lot with the light pollution, noise, litter, and drainage issues that accompany most parking lots. Parking lot just across the street from the football stadium will no doubt be used to accommodate patrons of football games, less is likely to increase noise and garbage as it becomes a site for tailgating. The parking lot is intended to accommodate the expansion of Lowry Center, then it will still increase light pollution, noise, and garbage. Additionally, one can anticipate that there will be significant use of salt in a parking lot in the winter, salt that will run off into adjacent lots and yards, including that of JC Park, ruining the grass where a lot of children come to play. The impermeable surface of a parking lot will increase the runoff that goes down the north-south alley immediately to the east of Spink Street after every rainfall. This will increase the erosion of the backyards all the way down the block. Gravel lot they put there a few years ago has already created a problem that eroded several feet from the yards along the back lane further down the street all the way to Stibb Street. In spite of the drainage basin they installed, in fact, the height of the parking lot is higher than the lane, and the runoff drains down the lane and misses both the large and small catch basins installed there. I raised this issue with the college's planners a year ago, and of course they assured me that they look at drainage issues and provide the appropriate drainage basins. The fact is that those measures have not worked in the past. Even with a gravel lot, a paved parking lot will only make the runoff worse. Lastly, the presence of a parking lot there devalues our homes and the quality of life in our neighborhood. I am not able to come to the virtual meeting tonight, so I was hoping you could take these concerns into your consideration. Thank you, Madonna Hedinger.
John, can you speak to the drainage with what's there now, and then what the new surface would create?
Sure. So basically, the lot that is there right now, the gravel lot. Whenever you have gravel lots and you don't have curbs and pavement and so forth, it's difficult to collect and convey in the stormwater exactly where you want it, especially to get a little erosion, a little sediment fill. Things tend to not necessarily work as great as what they could. The parking lot that we're proposing will have curb and gutters around it. They'll have catch basins that will then collect and convey the stormwater from the parking lot, from the paved surfaces into the stormwater detention basin. The stormwater detention basin will it's already been reviewed by the city engineer's office, but as part of projects like this, they typically have us do an as-built of what is there to make sure that it is constructed in accordance to the way our sizings were assumed as part of our construction plans. So the end result is that this parking lot will discharge the same or less rate of runoff than what it was previously as the developed home lots that sat there in the past. So as far as the other issue, one of the other issues was light pollution. There has been a lighting plan submitted to Andrew. I believe it's addressed in the comments from staff that the the maximum foot candles is within the range of the code. They're full cutoff fixtures, so they're not just going to be just a light, blazing in the night. It will be directed towards the ground and not trespassing off their property to any significant effect. So.
Thank you, John. John, would the bushes and trees that were proposed on the plan too, will those eventually grow to block the light from that house on the south side as well?
Yeah, I mean, with time, I'm not going to say that it will block out 100% of any light trespass in the next 5 years. But as those trees grow and with the nature of the lights that are directed downward, it will block it as well. The lighting plan isn't mine, so I can't speak 100% to that because that's not my really within my realm of expertise. But I know that it's within the requirements of the code at the current time.
Andrew, can you scroll up a little bit on that to make sure we got the first part?
From which,
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we got the top of that email because it was scrolled down. So, and any other commission members, if you see something, a comment in there that we didn't address, please speak up too.
Since I've gotten calls on this, I will ask specifically whether the parking lot will be used for tailgating, whether tailgating will be allowed during football games.
So thank you, Mark. I'm not aware of a decision having been made on that, so I appreciate the question. I think we could certainly make the decision that it wouldn't be allowed there if that would be of importance to the commission or the neighbors. The large majority of the tailgating that I'm aware of is up closer to the stadium and not on the other side of University there. So I would certainly be comfortable making the decision that we wouldn't have tailgating that far away from the stadium itself so that it doesn't spread down into the neighborhood, if that would be helpful.
Now Andrew, can we go back up and make sure that we addressed all of Mr. Baylor's comments too?
he's commented a few more times here. Not sure which one the last one was.
I think the last one was the bagpipe practice 10 yards from our house. And so if the lot is only for staff, we roped off during sporting events, and I think President Bolton just talked about that. Fear the parking lot will hurt my resale value of my home. I would not have made this purchase if I knew it was going to be zoned as a parking lot. Andrew, when was it was zoned for this use a while back, right?
It's zoned community facilities, which is the zoning for the college or schools, city buildings, things like that. I'm not sure how long that's been, but it's been a significant amount of time.
Okay. For long-term effect, my home will have drainage issue with gravel has been the last 2+ years. And I think John addressed that for us, that it would either be a similar situation or improved with the new surface. Can you tell me more about the light plan, which we addressed? And there were tailgating during football games last year. If you don't know if there'll be tailgating, then how can you say the lot is strictly for staff? So I think President Bolton said that she would, and the college would be willing to restrict the tailgating aspect if the commission asked. So with that, I guess any commission members see any comments that we didn't address, just to make sure, because of the new realm and world we live in, that all these comments were addressed appropriately? Andrew, any additional comments?
No, nothing that's not up there already.
Why don't we give them a second here, and then we can close the public hearing. Okay, if there's no additional comments, then we'll close the public hearing on this application. Any commission members have any additional questions for the applicant? In that case, could I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair, this is Chuck Armbruster. I'd like to make the motion to the approval of the conditional use application PC 20-22. Parking shall meet the required setbacks of section 1125.03B, or a variance shall be approved by the Board of Building and Zoning Appeals. And secondly, landscaping shall meet the parking lot screening requirements of section 1123.05B, buffering requirements of section 1123.06, and the size and species of landscaping shall be indicated.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Mike. And then we'll take it to a roll call vote here.
Kyle, this
Yeah.
is Mark Weaver. Before we vote, I want to note one thing. On the Planning Commission gets an engineering comment sheet. And on that comment sheet, it specifies from the Engineering Division, October 22nd, 2020, that site development must comply with all provisions of the city's Site Development Improvement Manual for stormwater management. Current edition, developer must use the current City of Worcester engineering standards, and developer to obtain all necessary engineering permits and stormwater guarantees. In other words, what I'm pointing out is, although that's not attached as a condition, that is a standard requirement that is built into today's proposal.
Thank you, Mark. In that case, we'll move on to the roll call vote. Chuck?
Yes.
Suri?
Yes.
Grant?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
And I vote yes. So it carries 6-0. In that case, we'll move on to the next application, PC-20-21. Rachel Anzafami requesting final development plan approval for a building addition and site alterations at 1189 Bell Avenue, the Lowry Center, in a parking lot at the southeast corner of University Street and Spink Street with parcel number 65-00024.000 in a community facilities zoning district. Is there anyone here to speak for the application?
That'd be me. I work with Rachel. My name is Matthew Hyatt. I'm an architect with Bergmeyer, 51 Sleeper Street, Boston, Massachusetts, and I affirm to tell the truth.
Thank you, Matt.
This project is a complete transformation of the existing Lowry Center, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. The project involves an expansion to the west, which you're looking at now, to introduce a new lobby and entry sequence to the existing building, and also to provide additional dining hall seating at the level that the dining hall will be on post renovation. The project also involves removing the existing asphalt drive aisle that runs in front of the building for visitor drop off. That drive aisle is being replaced by a concrete pedestrian path, thus making the pedestrian experience from crossing Bell Avenue much safer. Once you get to this side of Bell, it's pedestrian only on your way to the entry to the building. So there's a small plaza and then pathways connecting various points on campus to the front door of the addition. This involves also the replacement of or relocation of 2 ADA parking spaces at the front of the building. You see those to the lower left of the Lowry building now. We have an entrance in the front, but we also have an entrance on the back. And so there are an additional 2 handicap parking spaces in the parking lot at the rear of the building. So we'll be splitting that between the 2 different entrances. The other expansion of the building is on the southeast side in the form of a new loading dock. Part of this is to increase capacity for storage inside the building, thus pushing the loading docks themselves further to the west, to the east, and then also correcting for proper truck turning radiuses, which the existing facility does not have. So we'll make it safer for trucks and for pedestrians to be sharing the space back there behind the building. The addition on the front is technically a single story, although there's a double height lobby. It's only 1 occupiable floor. The addition on the east side is 2 levels. 1 level is a loading dock, and above that is an enclosed mechanical penthouse. So the new mechanical equipment will not be visible from public ways. The project includes some new expansion of plaza, concrete plaza at the east of the building. Not significant, similar in general form to what's there today, but we expect the existing plaza to be seriously disturbed during construction. So we'll be replacing that as part of the project at the end of the second phase. I should have mentioned it's a 2-phase project. The first phase will include the addition on the west and the addition for the loading dock. The last phase, the second phase, is the gut renovation of the 3rd floor once the rest of the building is complete and reopened to the campus. I'll stop there unless there are specific questions. And John Long's been involved in this part of the project as well. So if there are aspects of the civil or site planning that you'd like to address, he might jump in as well.
I will jump in just here real quickly. So one of the things that Mark brought up under the last proposal was compliance with the city engineering's code for stormwater drainage and site development. Being that one was the use, they decided to leave addressing those types of things to the development plan, which is what's before you now. We fully intend to comply with the city engineer's requirements for stormwater management, all other construction details in their development manual, as we typically do on all projects. So I'd be happy to answer any other questions for you.
Thanks, John. Is there anybody else to speak for the project?
Should be, unless there are specific questions. There are significant new plantings proposed. I know Bo Mastrine from the campus is here if there are questions about those.
Do any commission members have questions for the application?
I'll make the motion that we move to approve the final development plan for the building addition and site alterations at 1189 Bell Avenue, the Lowry Center. and a parking lot southeast corner of University Street and Spink Street with parcel number 65-00024.000 in a CF Community Facilities zoning district, subject to the staff recommendations that one, landscaping on the parking lot site shall meet the parking lot screening requirements of section 1123.05B, buffering requirements of section 1123.06, and the size and species of landscaping shall be indicated. Number 2, parking shall meet the required setbacks of section 1125.03B at the parking lot site, or a variance shall be approved by the Board of Building and Zoning Appeals. And number 3, sidewalks along East University Street and Spring Street adjacent to the parking lot shall be repaired or replaced to meet current city standards.
Thanks, Mike. Do we have a second?
This is Chuck, happy to do so.
Thanks, Chuck. Is there any other comments by any commission members before we vote? Okay, in that case, we'll take it to a roll call vote. Chuck?
Yes.
Sheree?
Yes.
Grant?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
And I also vote yes, so the application carries 6-0. In that case, is there any other business, Andrew?
I don't have anything else.
Okay, in that case, could I get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Thanks, Mike. A second?
It's Grant. I'll second that.
Thanks, Grant. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any against? So, thanks, guys. We're adjourned.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.